or let's say even like a clam, something with like no eyes, very limited movements, very, very limited processing going on. There's something it's like to be that. We have no intuition for what that would be like. Clearly, like, there's no sophisticated brain that would be capable of constructing experiences like, awareness or a sense of self. There's no visual system, so there's no experience of color going in there. It's just a very, very different kind of conscious experience, to the point where, like, it's hard to answer a question of what it would be like to be a clam. But, I don't see any principal reason for saying that it's not like anything. Again, until somebody gives me a better sort of story about what phenomenal consciousness is and what's required for having experiences, I'm just going to assume that things that exist in the real world and that encode information and that do some kind of processing, there's a difference in quantity to the kind of processing happening in a human brain, but there's no difference in kind. Right? It's the same sort of thing, so I'm going to assume that they're also having experiences. Now, I think the kinds of experiences that an entity is having definitely matters for instance, like whether we assign moral value to it. So I think, for instance, like the conscious experiences of things like humans and dogs are probably,
it's probably
more
like
important.
it's probably like a spectrum. Like, people are more conscious than clams, but clams are still conscious.
Yeah, I don't think it's helpful to think about like as a spectrum that's like linear. Basically, like imagine this whole space of possible experiences.